Oh yeah.
That's the kind of map intro that your family needs for Ohana.
Exactly. Top left, we have the Terran player facing maybe an impossible task here. He is faced with a challenge to take down Seed. Will the Terran player succeed? His idea is...
And this also, Sculptor!
Sculpt, man, what will he do? Proxy, will he factory build? Will he actually just stand up on his hind legs as a human and go for a macro game? Nobody knows.
To the bottom right, we have his opponent, though. One of the toughest opponents that he could face in this match. Maybe the toughest one. It is the champion. It is the LGIM player called...
LGIM Seed!
And on Ohana in a Terran versus Protoss, what you quite often see, you have the possibility of actually executing another Marauder and Hellion build that we've seen earlier. It's really strong if not scouted in time, and depending on the opening that you choose as a Protoss player and the unit composition, you might find yourself in a really tough spot. But if it goes into a mid-game, a lot of matches on this map, in this matchup, are actually decided by the Protoss players' abilities to shut down drop play.
Yeah.
Especially the drop with 4 Marauders at the bottom right is really strong, and it's really tough to take it down. This is one of the reasons why a lot of Protoss players will actually line up their Stalkers, as MC did at the WCG against Marine King.
Yes.
And was able to intercept this drop early on, and then suddenly Marine King didn't have an answer anymore. So this drop play and the ability to defend against it is really crucial in the early mid game.
Now, a slight variation on the build of Seed as he scouted, no gas, very quickly with that probe. He knows he can put the Nexus up even before Assimilator. He does so he's going to have a very early expand here. And Sculpt, so far, man, looks like he wants to play the macro game. And this is such a scary choice to make against Seed, but I'm excited about it. Another thing about this map, you know, you talked about holding that dropship play. Now, the next phase often becomes, it's very difficult for a Protoss player to hold a third Nexus, so oftentimes Protoss will do 2 base timing attacks at the Terran's third, put pressure there. The game that comes most to mind for me is Mana against Keen, using High Templar, Charge Zealots, and good force fields to actually bully the Terran's third base a little bit as he gets his own third up. We see that a lot on Ohana. Bunker going down here, actually, for Jockji, and this is something that Seed actually should easily be able to repel with his first Zealot, but he may want to pull some probes to make sure this bunker doesn't complete.
Wolf still fascinated by the last game. Of course, we have Sculpt this time, not Jockji.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, in my head, I'm still thinking about the last game that we've seen. But this time, as you already said, he pulls a couple of probes, does it quite well. Just a little bit of fake pressure here. Is only 1 barracks, but you still need to make sure that this barracks, that this bunker is not completed, because if it is, then you will have a lot of problems again.
Yeah, and it's gonna finish, man. Unless there's a crazy something happening here. Oh wow, this crazy thing may just happen. It's not gonna finish. Wow.
Just in time. Not pulling another SCV, by the way. Only Marines on the run.
And Seed is gonna feel really happy now that he's held this off. Killing 2 SCVs, not even losing the Zealot.
Yeah, but it was a little bit close. Of course, even if the bunker would have been completed, he most likely would have been able to save his Nexus, but it's always so annoying if you have to deal with this. You have to sacrifice quite a few units. You need to make sure that you have enough Stalkers and also use a couple of probes to take down the bunker. And very well done here by Seed.
Jockji is double gassing, but it's delayed. He's getting his third command center, and I'm sorry, I keep saying Jockji for some reason. I just see the NSH and immediately Jockji pops into mind. But Sculpt is taking his double gases here and is as well going up to 3 barracks with his third command center. Now, this is something that Seed doesn't know about, and he's going to really struggle to find out about. And this is something that is going to be a little bit scary, because the third base for a Terran is relatively easy to hold on this map if you don't know about it.
We have 4 additional gateways actually built for Seed here. Look at that. He wants to bully his way in. He wants to be the aggressive player. A 5th gate is now coming up. And we don't have anything like robotics for him. This time he really tries to apply pressure.
And this is actually great for him because he's got the probe already out on the map. He damaged the Marines already with the Stalker. And this is an old school 2-base timing attack that's going to hit really fast, and it punishes directly what Sculpt has done here with his fast third command center.
And you know, the problem is just that if you're facing Seed as a Terran player, he has so many different builds that he can execute. He's just not predictable, and this is exactly what we see this time. The Stalker, yes, is forced back, but the pylon to the top right is now ready, and the gateways are about to finish, so then he can start warping in units. He needs a few more pylons, and 1 pylon is just going to be completed in, well, right now.
The SCV has rallied on a path to find that pylon, which will allow him to make the extra bunkers once he realizes.
Does that really help him? Will that be in time?
That's the question, man. And the SCV about to see it.
I doubt that will be in time, Wolf.
I don't think so, man. The Zealots are coming in. The sentries are actually being well hidden. He's running them around the watchtower.
He saw it, but the sentries are already on the move, as he said. They are dodging the watchtower.
Bunker.
Second and third bunker are being built, but
It's
now
too late.
Seed knows that he's on a clock right now, and he's moving in, and he should have enough.
There's so many sentries here. Guardian Shield plus Force Fields equals maybe a dead Sculpt here.
And he's moving in. The Guardian Shield is ready. The Force Fields prevent the repair on the bunker, and he's taking down Marine after Marine. Moving in with a supply advantage. An army supply 24 against 14. The next round of Warblades will hit soon. There it is. And too many units already dead for Sculpt. Sculpt in trouble. The bunkers, they finished though.
They finished, but there's very few units inside of them. And with the next round of Warpins that he just warped in that you were talking about, you can actually just target these bunkers down. There's very few SCVs even left. He needs to go now, though, as 2 more bunkers are coming up. But I just don't think there's enough. He's even pulling, Sculpt is pulling more SCVs from his main because he knows he needs them to repair.
Sculpt hit the panic button. He knows that he has to hold this. 2 more bunkers are on the way, but at the same time, the Protoss player is walking up the choke point once again. He's moving in. The force fields are decent. Stim not done indeed. And here comes the kill on bunker number 1 and bunker number 2.
Yeah, the bunker there actually was blocked by the force field, so he actually takes out a lot of Zealots here. But the Stalkers at the back are doing so much extra damage. It looks like Jiaoqi may Sculpt may hold for now, but I'm actually going to remove the nameplate here.
He's 20 supply down already. And this is gonna get really difficult. He even tries to use his factory as an additional block. Once again, the force fields is able to push through here with 32 army supply against 14. He is moving in, and there is just nothing left. There is nothing to defend properly.
Yeah, and there's, if you look at the supply, 70 to 30. The worker count is 46 to 18 as he has just lost so many SCVs in the repair. And back at home, he already transitioned. He already added the double gas. He's getting his forge off his Twilight Council, and he can actually continue the attack. He's forced Sculpt up the ramp.
Sculpt is really, well, I don't want to call it panicking, because what else can he do right now?
He's so desperate.
He's just trying to defend. Exactly, he is desperate because he knows that he's in the worst situation ever. He had to force his, he had to actually land his command center in the main base once again. He's on 1 base against 2 bases, and Seed has his tech available as well.
Sculpt just really getting the worst end of build orders here with the Risk Command Center build. Didn't scout early enough what was happening, and now he's dead.
Yeah.
Seed is going to kill yet another Terran player here, and it begs the question, you know, was this the right choice?
Seed is merciless. This guy, he doesn't show any weaknesses in this matchup. He is just exploiting all your weak points and making sure that he takes a victory. Once again, Seed succeeds against the Terran. 76 supply against 10. This game is over. GG!
What a crazy game. Sculpt, man, taking a risk with that fast 3rd command center. And when you do that, if you cut the bunkers out, if by some chance your opponent goes for a 6 gateway attack, you die. That's just how the game works, and he cut those bunkers out. He tried to make them at the last second, but they were not done in time.
And here we go. I talked to Seed yesterday, and he said that one of his greatest strengths, in his opinion, in the booth is that he can stay calm, that he can shut out everything. He can shut out everything that's happening and focus solely on the game. And that's what you always see when he's in the booth, when he's playing, that he puts his emotions aside, all the pressure that is there, and is able to just concentrate on the game and make the right decisions. And now we have the last decision for the Sosa team. It's the last player. They're down to the last leg. What are they going to do? I think the only player that is left, Wolf, is actually Seal. Do you think we will see Tacita, or it's going to be Seal?
You know, the thing is, I feel like Seal can't beat Seed. Tassadar can beat Seed, but he can't beat whoever comes next. I think that's the reality of the situation here. And we've got a team now of only 1 player is in Code A. The rest of them are all Code B players. And you know, that is the reason why I've cast only NS hosts of Jiaoqi games. That's why I see NSH, I just, in my brain, was thinking Jiaoqi the whole time. And this team is got a bunch of great players who've shown themselves in Team League time and time again. But once Jiaoqi fell, Sculpt looked a little bit weak. And now it's just like, well, who's going to come out last? Who have they prepared?
He looked weak against Seed.
He did. When
that's
you put a
okay.
Terran in the same room as Seed, he just becomes weaker by default.
Yeah, you put a Terran in a room with Seed and you leave for about 2 minutes, you come back and everything is just splattered in blood. There's just nothing left. Only Seed sitting in the middle of the room. He's like, what happened? Well,
It's just, you know, you got to know your player types, man. It's like Pokemon types. And Seed is strong against Terran. Terran is weak against Seed. It's very simple.
the scary thing is that Seed is also strong against everything else. So what do you do against this guy? We'll find out what NS Hosa is going to do, because it's their choice right now. And it's going to be Tassadar. Seal today has to stay on the bench. It is going to be a Protoss player. Seal, one of the best matchups that Seed actually has is the matchup against Zerg, which is one of the reasons why Tassadar has been chosen here. But of course, as Wolf already pointed out, it's not only about Seed. No, it's about Seed and the next potential player for LGIM if Tassadar is able to succeed here.
Yeah. Tassadar coming in here 6-9, not the best record. A lot of people on the internet call this guy a big all-inner because, well, let's be frank, he all-ins about 3 out of 4 of his games, but he's really good at it. So this is a really scary player to face. What is he going to do in a PvP against Seed? Will he go for a Blink Stalker all-in? Will he go for even a 2-gate proxy or a Cannon Rush? The map is the most important thing, I think, for build orders here. What has he chosen? There's only a few maps left. It's either going to be Muspelheim or Grand Lagoon.
And
Muspelheim is a great map for Cannon Rush. We've seen this in the past. It's almost impossible to stop him. When we get back from our 5-minute break, we'll find out the strategy, we'll find out the map here at the GSTL Season 3 cast by Counter on Wolf.